I'm getting ready to take you through a 15-minute core workout using our Heroboard. So let's get into it. First thing we're gonna do is starting here with hands right underneath our shoulders. Bring those toes to the center of your board. I want you to draw the core in. Close those ribs, find a nice and neutral spine here. We're gonna lift those knees up just a few inches off the mat, bringing our hips up to shoulder height. Hold in this tabletop position. Just hold here. Focus on your breath as you inhale. Let the ribs expand. Exhale, draw the belly in. Now we're gonna start by tapping those knees down. Exhale, lift up to that tabletop. Lower. Exhale as we lift. You're here for another 5. Exhale, lift. Last 4. Exhale, lift. Here for 3. Lift those hips. Last 2. Lift. 1 more here. We're gonna hold that hover and press your feet out to a high plank. Holding that high plank, I want you to tuck those hips slightly up to the ribs. Pull the belly in. Hold here. Shoulders stack right over those wrists. Lengthen through the back of the knees and hold. We're here for another 5. We start twisted mountain climbers slowly in 4, 3, 2, 1. You're gonna exhale, draw that left knee to your right elbow. Step back, exhale, twist, right knee to left elbow. As you're twisting through these mountain climbers, I want you to connect that breath to movement as you twist. Even weight through those palms. Keep moving here through those twists. Let those hips follow through as you draw opposite knee to elbow. Stay here with me for another 10. Exhale, twist. Here for 9. Last 8. 7. Press those palms into the mat. Lift up through that chest. Just for 5. For 4. Last 3. 2. 1 more here. Come through to center. Hold it here for 3. Hold here for 2. For 1. Bring those knees down. Now I want you to come down to those forearms. You can stay on your toes here or come to the knees. Let's start on our toes here, holding that forearm plank. Again, we're gonna tuck our hips up towards those ribs. And then as we start to lift our hips, we're going to bend our knees, rounding through our spine. Tuck your chin to chest, look back towards those knees. You wanna get a nice C-curve position in the spine. And then we slowly press it back to a forearm plank, never letting our hips fall below those shoulders. Exhale as you lift. Lift up through that low belly, hips rise nice and high. And again, we're getting up into a tiny little ball. Think about as you start to tuck your chin to chest, you round up through that upper back. Then we lift our low back up towards the ceiling. Keep this going here, or if you need a modification, we're bringing our knees to the center here. Again, tucking those hips up. Then we're rounding up through our spine, looking back at those knees, and then we slowly bring it back to a plank. Stay with me here for another 4, nice and slow. Big exhale as you round up through that spine. You're here for another 3. Exhale as you lift. Shh. Really pull that belly up and in, keeping your heels close to your butt if you are on your knees or on your toes. Keep bending those knees. 1 more here. Exhale as we lift up, 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 and then hold it here. Back to that plank. Hold this plank. You're either on your knees or on your toes. Lift up just a little bit higher through those hips. Tuck your hips up to the ribs. You're gonna hold here for another 5. You're here for 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna roll on over to a side plank. bringing your left forearm down, bringing your left knee onto your board. Stack your right knee on top, and then we're gonna lift that left hip up and away. Find that pinch. Think about squeezing, hip up towards the rib as you lift up. Now extend that right arm up, lengthen up, lift the chest, lengthen through the torso, and then we're gonna start here by threading the needle. As you scoop that right arm through, I want you to lift that hip up. Exhale, bringing your chest almost parallel to the ground, and then inhale, open up to that side plank. Now I want you to think as the board moves towards your left forearm, it's not because your knees are dragging, it is because the hips are lifting. Really big exhale, draw that belly in. As you lift those hips up nice and high, open up to that side plank. Stay with me here for another 3. Big exhale, lift. Open back up to that side plank. Here for 2. Big lift. Exhale. 1 more here. Exhale as you lift those hips. Squeeze through that left oblique and then open up to that side plank, holding here. I want you to pulse those hips up like you have a string on your right hip. Drawing you up to that ceiling. Lift up, squeeze, hold. Lower, lift, lower. Big breath out as you lift those hips. Here for 5. You're here for 4. Last 3. 2. You have 1 more here. Hold it here, hold that side plank. Hold here for 10. 9. I'm right here with you. You're here for 6, for 5, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a quick rest, and then we're gonna get right back into that oblique. Still working our left oblique here. Your forearms are both gonna come down onto your mat. Your left knee still stacks onto your board, your right knee directly on top. You have your hips fully open. And then we're twisting through. So our chest parallel, our bottom knee is right underneath the top knee here in a twisted position. Before we move, you're gonna get that right hip up nice and high. Squeeze through that left oblique, and then round up through the spine. Look back at that left knee as you make that nice C curve in the spine, coming back down to that plank. It's a twisted plank crunch. Big lift up. Up, take it right back down. Keep this going. Big exhale as you lift, lift, lower, lower those shoulders right over your elbows. I want you to think about squeezing up through that left oblique. As your hips lift, the knees come towards your chest. You're here for 2 more. Big lift. Exhale as we lift those hips up, up. Down, down, 1 more here. Big lift up, squeeze. Lower it down, hold that twisted plank. Open up your hips 1 more inch. Now can you draw your heels up to the glutes, balancing on just that left knee. Give me pulses up. Pulses up, squeeze that oblique. Lift, little small movements here. Think about juicing that lemon, squeezing between that rib and hip. Hold here for another 5. Right back here with you. Here for 4. Last 3. You're here for 2. 1 more here. And rest. Woo! All right, we're gonna come off of that board. You're gonna bring your heels onto your board. We're gonna do a little bridge lift before we hit that other oblique here. So I want you to bring either your hands down by your side, and then we're going to bring our heels down onto that board. We want to stabilize the board here as we lift up into a bridge hold. Now, yes, you are going to activate your glutes and your hamstrings here, but I want you to think about drawing your ribs down, belly down here, hands by the side, or elbows down, or even up above you as you hold this bridge. Focus on your breath as we drive our knee in. Exhale, march that right knee in. Lower it down slowly. Exhale as you bring that left knee in. Shh. Focusing here. on our deep core. Exhale, march it in. Lower your heel down. Exhale, march. Really keep your ribs down, belly down. We're only here for another 10. Feel the heat in the glutes. You are strengthening the low back. Our deep core consists of 4 different sections of our muscles. This particular move here not only strengthens our glutes and our hamstrings, but also our multifidus muscle, which is a deep muscle at the low back. We want to continue to always strengthen that muscle. Stay with me here for 4. Connect that breath to movement. Exhale for 3. Last 2. 1 more here. Bring both heels down. Lower the hips down. All right, we're going to move over to that right oblique now. So we're going to bring the board over to the other side for me so I can stay facing you here. We're starting with our knees down. Right knee into the center of your board here. Left knee stacks on top. I want you to lift up through that right oblique. Hold it here, extend that left arm long. Lift the chest and lengthen through that torso, and then we're gonna thread that needle. You're gonna scoop that left arm through. Eye gaze follows those fingertips. As the hips lift, the board is gonna move towards that forearm, just a couple of inches. Again, we're not dragging our knee in. We are lifting our hips, engaging through that right oblique, and a big exhale as you twist it through. Inhale to open up. Exhale, scoop it through. Inhale, open. Exhale as you scoop. Open back up. Really think again about juicing that lemon between your hip and rib, or squeezing something, finding that pause, the hold. 1 more here. Inhale, open. Exhale, scoop it through. Open back up to that side plank. Hold it here. Hold it. Little pulses up. Squeeze. Lift like you've got a fire underneath that oblique. And you can't let that hip drop down. So we keep lifting. Mindful movements here. Stay with me here for 5. For 4. Last 3. For 2. 1 more here. Hold it here. Then we're going to bring our forearm down. Readjust. Bring that right knee back down. Stack your left knee on top. Hold here. And I want you to lift up through that low back. Holding here. And then we're going to round up through the spine. Drawing our knee towards our nose. Looking back. And then bringing it back down to that plank. Exhale as you lift those hips up, up. Squeeze through that oblique. Your oblique should be feeling pretty spicy right now. Don't forget to connect the breath to movement every single time. In fitness, as I always say, it is such a mind-body connection. When we think about what we're doing and the muscles that we're training, then we learn how to connect our breath to movement. We are maximizing every single move. We're almost there. You're here for another 4. Lift and lower. You're here for 3. Exhale as you lift. Last 2. Exhale, lifting. Open up those hips a little bit more. Balancing just on that right knee. 1 more here. Exhale, lift. Lift. Lift, coming back down to that plank. Hold here for 5. Hold here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, we're gonna finish off in a high plank, just the way we started here. So challenge yourself. Take those toes, stack your shoulders right over your wrist, and bring those toes to the board. Meet me in that high plank. Again, tuck your hips up to ribs so you don't want your belly flopping down. You want to lift up, close those ribs, hold it here. hold here, and we finish out with one more time, slow, twisted mountain climbers. I'm right here with you. Shh. Twist it out. We're almost there. Shh. Let that hip follow through as you draw. Right knee to left elbow. Left knee to right elbow. Stay with me for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that center plank, hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Tuck your hips to ribs. Little pulses up. Little pulses up to finish. Little pulses to finish. Woo! We're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, knees down.